Yeah, hi everyone. So a few days ago, 15 December, was the birthday of one of my favorite players, most favorite players, uh, Rashid Nezhmetdinov. Um, yeah, he was born 110 years ago. Yeah, I think it's 110 years ago. So yeah, so due to that, I'm gonna show one of his favorite games of mine. Um, Uh, well, actually, I like a lot of his games, but this one in particular was the first one I saw. The games that of him that I saw. This is the first one where he played against Lev Polugayevsky, which is another favorite player of mine. So yeah, let's go to it. Well, yeah, I won't go much into details, but yeah, just to show you guys the game. So white played d4. So Rashid Nishmedinov is playing black. So white play d4 and f6, c4, b6, knight c3, e5. Okay, so it's like an all Indian defense. So e4 and e takes d4, queen takes d4, knight c6. Okay, after that is queen d2. So white sort of like set up some sort of like a Marok-Zibine structure, and yeah, one of the ideas as in this game is white can play b3, bishop b2, and castle on the queen side. Mm, okay, so black continue g6. So sort of because the bishop probably here is not so much scope, so it's developing into the long diagonal. So b3, bishop g7. Now this bishop is very strong. So white play bishop b2 to counter this bishop. Nestling, bishop d3, knight g4. After that, white play knight g2. Yeah. Here, black played queen h4. Okay, attacking this pawn here. And white played knight g3, okay, just to blockade this attack on the f2 square. Okay, here then black played knight ge5. So typically in these structures, sometimes we want to use the e5 for our minor pieces. So I think Nezhmetdinov's idea was from here the knight sort of like influence some of the white squares in white's territory. But of course, here, right, if you own Stockfish, you will suggest f5. After e takes f5, then bishop h6. Okay, so this is quite dangerous for white because if you suddenly play something like, um, I think like something like queen c2, then there's knight d4. So after f4, blocking the diagonal. This just like a example line that might occur. Then black can force the opening of diagonals to g5, e2, g take f4, bishop take f5. Okay, so you have to defend this knight again. This one on f4, so rook f1. Then black can play knight takes h2, and there's like this pin here, annoying pin. So this is like one of the lines by Stockfish. But yeah, we don't wanna. I mean, yeah, this game is like quite a long time ago. So yeah, let's just enjoy what happened. So white castle, and here only here then Rashid plays f5, striking in the center and trying to open lines for the rook. And here white play f3 just to reinforce the pawn. So what happens if e takes f5? Black will play g takes f5, and then there's this f4 coming again to dislodge the knight. And then after f4, for example, then f3. Yeah, there are many threats to white's position. So after f3, black played bishop h6, which is a nice move. because now sort of like the dark squares are weak, and with this idea, black might even enter this way. So white play queen d1. Uh, White has to be very careful as well, because he has to maintain an eye on this bishop. Otherwise, the knight, if he moves anywhere else, then the knight will take the bishop. So here, Rashid plays f4, further pushing this knight away. So knight g2. So this bishop is sort of like cramped by his own pawns. So in the Maroczy bind as well, we try to get rid of this bishop with one of the minor pieces, because this is considered like a bad bishop inside the structure. So I don't think black will take this one so early, because this is a very strong knight. So black played g5, trying to push through. Um, so white tries to open up this diagonal with knight d5. And here, um, another line will be bishop g7, okay, with a direct threat of knight f3 check. For example, like if white just moves anything like here or something, then there will be a knight f3 check, and if takes, then bishop takes. Okay, this is quite strong as well for black. But here, Nezhmetdinov just play g4, just ramping through, opening up the lines. Here, white play g3, and after f takes g3, h takes g3, queen h3, and here, what there's this attack on this f3 square, and with this rook, so white has to play f4. White plays f4 to avoid that, but there's this problem. There's always this problem of knight f3 check, king f2, and then maybe queen h2 check. It's like the knight will be very difficult to remove. So white played, so black played bishop e6, which is the best move. Then here I think with hindsight, maybe white could have just take the knight, because the knight is a very strong knight, and maybe early just to play king f2 earlier on, so you know you don't have to give. If the knight just jump here, then you can just run away or something. The knight has to move sooner or later after king e3, because you know. So but I guess it's very hard to see this. This is I checked with the engine, is the best move. But this Lev Pogolevsky played bishop c2, because want to relieve the queen of the defensive priorities, but this leads to rook f7. Rook f7. Bishop d5 is also can be played. So after queen d5 check, rook f7. Uh, yeah, here queen e6. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, okay. In this case, let's say white play queen e6. I mean, if let's say if you play bishop d5 lines, right, like this, queen takes d5, check, queen e6. Okay, so white has a very uh tricky defensive move. For example, if now black just do with check, there's this rook sacrifice, and yeah, black will lose the queen. So I guess that's why probably Nezhmetdinov goes for the current line, rook f7 first instead of taking the knight. So king f2, queen h2 check, king e3. Okay, now only takes the knight. C take d5. Uh, Knight b4. It's a nice move at um pressuring this bishop again. So you know the bishop can't move here, otherwise then just take, and then you can't easily move the queen, because the queen has to keep an eye on this bishop. So white play rook h1, and here, okay, here is when I first saw this game, I remember it must have been I don't know, that time was must have been at least 20 years ago or something. Or yeah, I think even more than that. Must be 25 or 24 years ago. It's quite a long time. And here, you see, black's queen is under attack. I'm sure Nezhmetdinov already calculated this beforehand. Okay, white's queen is under attack, and if white's queen move, then this rook can take this bishop as well. For example, this one attack. So here, right, you can pause the video and think what will be black's next move, which is really a brilliant move. Okay, so the move is rook takes f4. Uh, really brilliant move. For example, let's say knight takes f4, right? Then here, black can play. Let me see. Black can play maybe here. This check. Yeah, so he's getting this square as well. So the king has no way to move, and white has to give up the queen. Okay, so this is like one of the example lines. Maybe you can even just take the queen like this. So this is one of the example lines. So after rook take h2, so white just take the queen, and here black unleashes a series of combination which ends the game beautifully. Okay, so first rook f3 check. So now the king has only well, one way. You can only go here because you can go here and here. The bishop is, so it's like a double check. So the king go d4, and then now really brilliant move. Bishop g7. This is an excellent move. Um, Aiming at the king again to release an open check, and now the white's king can't go away because basically it's trapped inside this, and it's just like a sitting duck there waiting for a discovered check. So white played a4, and now c5 check. So this move is forced, otherwise it's mate, right? So en passant is forced, and now black reinstates the threat with b6, and now c5 is a checkmate, threatened. So white played bishop d3. Okay, the reason is to cover up this rank so that the king can run away here. But here, black is met, white is met with knight e d3 check, an excellent move. White king can take because it's protected, and it's check again. Only move, and then d5 check. Nice move, and then white has to take check. And again, you can go here, you can go here, you can go here, you can take this. So this only move is king b5. And black played rook b8 check, king a5. And now, the finishing of the game, sort of like an Arabian made team. And it's knight c6 check. So you can't go here. And yeah, here white resigns. But let's say if white continue to play, then this beautiful rook b6 checkmate. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I've saw this game many times before, but yeah, until this day, every time I saw it, yeah, I was still excited and in wonderment looking at it. It's such a beautiful game, yeah. So this is sort of like my tribute to Rashid Nezhmetdinov. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you guys in the next video. So please like, share, and subscribe. Really helps me a lot, and yeah, thank you very much. Bye.